Well, I did family friendly, so let's go on the opposite end of the spectrum, shall we? Hey, howdy, hey, Trainwreck. How are you today? I am the glorious Trainwreck Mom, and today we're going to talk about my top 5 not family-friendly horror movies. These are movies that any time of year, it doesn't just have to be Halloween, but any time of year are the kind that's just like, oh God, what did I just watch? Oh God. Yeah, it's the kind that has you on the phone with your best friend going, dude, what did I just see? There's noises. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And Jerry, if you're watching this, you remember watching Scream together on the phone with our VCRs. We pushed it in at the same time. We hit play at the same time. And we watched Scream from our mom's living rooms in different parts of the city. It was so great. That's like one of my greatest memories of all time, and I'll never forget that. But let's talk about the movies that we can't watch with our kids in the house sometimes. I'm going to start it off with number 5 being the Blair Witch Project. Now, compared to today and the stuff that people are putting out now, you're probably thinking the Blair Witch Project kind of lame. And we know it was fake. We know that it didn't actually happen and all that. But we didn't know then. And that's what was brilliant about it. Limited script, 99% ad-libbed. Everyone had their own thing and their own agendas going on. This was actually really well done, and it's what gave birth to the whole hidden footage genre. You know, stuff like Paranormal Activity would not have come around if it weren't for the Blair Witch Project. And I just absolutely love this movie in the fact that it does bring you into the movie. You are there with them because it's from your perspective as it is. You know, this isn't Josh holding the film. This is through your eyes at that point. And you're there with them, going through all of that, hearing everything the way they would be hearing it. It was just really well done. And it really does get you. Gotcha. It grabs you and it doesn't let go. And that's why it's on my number 5 on my list. There we go. Number 4 is going to be The Shining, because we all know this movie. We all know the classic, here's Johnny, Jack Nicholson, swinging that axe. The camera follows the axe. And I know it doesn't stick with the book, guys. I know. Trust me, I know. It is what it is. The movie in of itself, separate from the book, is wonderful. Okay? The tricks of using high-pitched frequencies to make you feel uncomfortable while you're watching it. Following the axe swinging, the camera angles, and things like that just make this really an amazing film to watch. It's so incredible. And then you find out that they had to do that whole stair scene something like 300 times. Shelley Duvall was never made for that, guys, okay? That is cruel and unusual punishment. And she already had some mental stuff going on before. That just broke my heart when I heard that they made her do that like 300 times. Damn. But I will never forgive her for choking up on that bat. She could have knocked him square so much quicker than at the top of the stairs if she had just dropped her hands about another 6 inches. But that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother day. But The Shining, the suspense, the building up of it, you don't know if it's him, if it's the hotel, if it's this weird like coming together of both things. It's awesome, and I love it so much. That's why it's number 4 on my spot. Number 3 gave birth to a whole horror genre. Without number 3, we wouldn't have The Walking Dead. Just where that's at, because number 3 is Night of the Living Dead. And George Romero passed this year, which broke my heart because he is the godfather of the zombie genre. He gave us this wonderful piece of work that became so relevant for so many people, whether you were an independent filmmaker, a hopeful actor, or if you're just a freak like me who digs zombies. This was the movie that did so many things socially. We talked about gender, it talked about race, it talked about class. This movie was incredible. And it was just a bunch of kids doing a college project. And that shows you what can get done if you put your mind to it. This man revolutionized the film industry. And I'm just so glad he did because we get zombies. And zombies are awesome, okay? Zombies are awesome. Don't deny it. You know they are. I love zombies. I love The Walking Dead. I am just such a big fan of pretty much everything zombies. So yes, absolutely. Number 3 on the list. Number 2 is a recent one, and I'm talking recent within 15 years, and it's The Ring. The Ring actually, and I know it's not the first Japanese to America switch off kind of thing, but The Ring really was one of the first ones that I took notice of, and that I noticed a lot of other people took notice of in this whole genre of creepy Japanese movies that were really able to be switched over into an Americanized version, and it still worked. Because there are a couple that didn't. The Grudge, I think The Grudge was the first to really do that. If I'm wrong, go ahead, please correct me. I love being wrong because I learn things. So throw comments and tell me how wrong I am, because I love that. But The Grudge, I think, was one of the first ones, if I remember right. But The Ring really captured that terror of, oh my god, I'm totally not picking up my phone. I'm just going to disconnect my phone, and now I'm going to throw it out the door because that sucker's not ringing and I'm not picking it up, and I don't have no 7 days. I'm good. So yeah, that movie really hit a nerve. I remember I was pregnant. I was watching The Ring with my brother Jerry when I was up in Philly, and something with the surround sound. I didn't know there was a speaker by my head, but surround sound went off and boom! I broke the speaker because it scared me so bad I punched it. And yes, I totally busted the speaker because I was so scared watching this movie. So anytime you can get scared enough to break sound equipment, that's a good movie in my opinion. So yeah, totally check out The Ring. That's my number 2 spot. Number 1, at any given time, this is the all-time number 1 scariest movie of all time, and I am talking about the horror classic, The Exorcist. There is nothing about this movie that isn't scary. This is like every fear you have as a human being on screen. And I know Fox is trying to do some series about it. They will never be able to capture the fear and the terror that grips you while watching this. My favorite memory, one of my favorite memories of watching this movie was the first time watching it. It was me, my sister Jody, my sister Anna. We were all sitting at Anna's house watching this. Her house super dark, like creepy dark. Really creepy dark. She's got a big screen TV. I'm talking monster screen TV with the projector and everything, right? And we're sitting there and we're watching this terrible, horrifying movie. And it's dark outside and it's scary. We go upstairs together. We go to the bathroom together. We're that scared. No lie. We all leave. We live literally like 3 houses in between each of us. So it's like Anna, Jody, me. Get home and it's like, okay, try to erase it from your head. Try to erase it from your head. All the things you've seen, just get rid of it and go to sleep. My phone rings. It's 2 a.m. My phone rings. You know my parents are having a fit, right? Pick up the phone and Jody's flipping out. She's losing her mind because every time she gets into her bed, the light goes out. She gets out of bed, the light goes on. She gets into bed, the light goes out. So I sneak back out of my house, go to her house, find out every time she was getting into the bed would shift, and it was hitting the plug in the wall, pulling it out. So the light would go out. And then when she'd get out of the bed, naturally it would come back in and the light would turn on. But that is some of my favorite memories of watching this absolutely horrific movie. I thoroughly suggest any of these movies to anyone if you want to get a good scare in for the Halloween season or any time of the year. Honestly, they're wonderful movies. For more Trainwreck goodness, you can always check out my book, Platitudes of Gratitude, is available still on Kindle. I would love if you would hit like, subscribe, share. Like I said, throw me a bunch of comments. I love comments. I want to hear what your favorite movies are. Let's build a data bank of all wonderful movies for this time of year. Other than that, I think that's all we've got for today, Trainwreck. So, all aboard.